So today is November 3rd and a big day for everybody in the US and around the world. But it's also a big day for me because today is 3 days before I leave on November 6th to head back to Tahiti. So right now I am on my way to get my COVID test, which you must have the RT-PCR negative COVID test before traveling to French Polynesia. So I'm on my way to get my test and hopefully it beats negative. A little bit nervous, but I'm sure it is. I've been hiding out and not seeing anybody for a while here. So stay tuned for more. Okay, so that actually was so easy. We were in and out of, I'm using FH Health, which is one of the very few private testing clinics that will guarantee a turnaround time within 24 hours. So it's early morning right now, and I will likely have my results before midnight today, so same day, which is amazing. If anyone hasn't had the test and you're worried about it, I mean, it really wasn't all that bad. they swab your nose like you just saw in the video. It felt like you're kind of getting water up your nose, made me want to sneeze a little bit, but it wasn't that bad as what a lot of people have said. So now we just have to sit and wait for those results to come back, and then that's one step closer to French Polynesia. So I'm happy to have that COVID test done. Now that I'm back in my office, I thought I would just go over with you again what it takes if you're planning on going to Tahiti, what your entry requirements are. Of course, anything in this day and age can change all the time, but this is as they stand right now on November 3rd. So you must have that get the negative COVID test. And it is very, very, very important that it is one of their approved tests. So you want to start researching well in advance where it is that you're having your test done. Book the appointment for 3 days prior, just in case there's any kind of delays. Now let me just share my screen with you. One moment here. Let's do it this way. Okay, there we go. So if you're on my website, tahitibycarl.com, when you're on the home page, right here across the top, you've got this banner you can click on for more details. When you click on this, it's going to take you to all the entry requirements as set out by the French Polynesian government. You can also find these on the Tahiti Tourism website. So what I want to point out here is prior to departure, number one, which I have just done before my trip, is I have my COVID test today. It must be a certain type of test. It has to be an RT-PCR test. If you click on this link here, it will take you to a list of all the approved and non-approved tests. So important to make sure that the medical facility you're going to is doing one of the approved tests. Now, I'll show you when you board the plane what it is they're looking for. One moment here. So this is a sample from where I just had my test done here in Toronto with FH Health. So they're one of the few, it is a private, for Canadians, we're used to having everything free for our healthcare. This is a private facility. It is a paid test that I had done. It's $169 plus tax, but they will guarantee the turnaround time. So I had it done this morning at 8 a.m. They'll have my results back to me by midnight. So that's really important. You're doing a big trip. You don't want to gamble on the government test coming back in time or not in time. For everybody in the US, you know, you're very used to these clinics where you can do the paid tests. And I've got some clinics I can recommend in LA right before your flight going down. But this is a sample of what the results look a test result would look like that you have to show upon check-in. So the number one thing that you have to have here is that it's an RT-PCR test. They need to know that it's the RT-PCR test. And right here, you can see that it is one of their approved tests, or the type of test that I had done this morning. And you'll look, and that we'll see on the list, the government list, that it is one of their approved tests. And then, of course, when I get my actual results back, which I don't have yet, they'll say whether you tested negative or positive. So this I will print off, and you must bring the printed copy with you for check-in. Okay, so it's very, very important. And bear with me here for one moment. We'll just go back to the website. So that's the number one, getting your negative test. The other thing you have to do within 3 days of your departure is to do the online entry form, the ETIS form. So from my website, you can just click right here, and this is going to take you to the official website where you need to start your new application. And it can only be filled out within 3 days before your flight. So once you click on here, if you scroll down, this is what you need to have ready to do this application. So you need to have your negative test. You need to have your travel itinerary. They need to know if you're changing and doing multiple islands and multiple resorts on multiple islands. Like myself, I'm going to be moving around a lot on this trip. So you need to list every day where it is that you're staying and the dates that you're going to be staying there, so that if anything happened, they can do the tracking and the tracing. And then the emergency contact person. And then travel insurance. Just a word on travel insurance. It is always so important to have travel insurance, but now of all times, it is so critical to make sure you have travel insurance, out-of-country medical insurance, and you must have that is going to cover for COVID. Some insurance policies will, some won't. Most insurance companies now have an optional add-on that you can add on to your policy to cover you for COVID insurance. So for my Canadian clients, I use Allianz Insurance. My American clients, I use Travelex. So with Allianz Insurance, we now have a COVID policy, which I have purchased my COVID policy to cover me in the event that either one of us contract COVID while we're traveling. If you don't have insurance, basically when you're doing this online form, you are signing off to accept all financial responsibilities if you were to get sick with COVID. Likely, it's not going to be serious. You'll end up having to quarantine for 2 weeks, which you'll have additional hotel costs or the quarantine costs, and that can be expensive. But what's even worse is if you did get hospitalized, the cost of hospitalization is very expensive, especially if you ended up in intensive care. So please don't travel without the insurance. For any of my clients, we'll go over this. I can answer your questions. If you don't take the insurance that I offer, you need to make sure you have something, offered through somebody else through coverage. And so many people think they have coverage on their credit cards and have coverage on work. This whole COVID situation has really shown there's a lot of differences in different types of insurance. So you need to know the specifics of what coverage you have. So don't just say, yeah, I've got it. Right? You're going to have to call. You're going to find out what coverage do you have, because you don't want any surprises when you're in destination. And those are the majority of things that you have to do before you depart to go down to French Polynesia. My website has further details. There is a great little video here. We won't watch it right now, but it's only a few minutes long. When you arrive in French Polynesia, they are going to give you a self-test kit. With that kit, on day 4, you must test yourself again. You turn it into your resort, and they are going to send it off to the lab to be tested. So this just reviews what it's like to do the self-test and how all of that works. So stay tuned. I will have more. I can't wait to get my test results back and make sure everything is good. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I've been very socially distant here for a long time and anticipating this big trip. And we'll travel, being safe, being cautious, being careful to follow my trip as well. I'll just put here on the bottom. So here are some of on the bottom of the screen, you'll see my social media channels. If you're not following me already, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. So follow me along with any of those. I am going to be in the islands for over 3 weeks. Super excited. I'll be doing a lot of different resorts, a lot of different tours, and we'll try to put out a lot of information for you as I go. It feels really important for me. I have a blog post up on my website as well. I'm not trying to convince people that now is the time to travel for you. If you're not comfortable, that's fine. I get it. I just want to show what it's like for the islands. I am a Tahiti expert. I specialize in this. I think it's important that people are booking with an agent that knows what they're doing for any destination that you're traveling to right now. Countries are opening and closing all the time. Regulations are changing all the time. Just this morning, Canada introduced new regulations if you're flying back in internationally that you now must complete online forms before you arrive. Things are changing all the time, so it's important that you work with an expert. So if you're not following me, follow along on whatever your favorite channel is. Subscribe to my newsletter from my website, tahitibycarl.com. I hope you enjoy, and even if you never have any intentions of traveling to Tahiti, just come along for the virtual tour. It's always good fun. Ignore my emails coming in there. But it's always good fun to see paradise, and I'll try to show it to you the best I can. And hopefully one day we work together so that I can get you down there so you can experience it firsthand yourself. And that's all for now. Stay tuned for more in the upcoming weeks.